you mentioned kind of like leaning on other people, talking to other people. You're maybe put in a position as like an intern to the producer or something. Kind of in general, like maybe drawing on same three experiences or whatever comes to mind. What are your biggest tips for someone who's trying to get continual work, like getting bouncing from one job to the next?
If you are trying to get into this industry and get constant work, I would recommend networking. Get to know the PA. If you do get one job,
Well,
let's say
that could be a scary word for some people. I remember when I was in college, like, oh, I don't feel like I'm a very sociable person. I
yeah,
don't even know what these environments are
yeah,
like,
yeah,
right? Obviously, it's you just getting into the environments and assessing it, like that changes things. Like, oh, okay, I can work with this and that.
yeah.
But some people are like
Scared of networking.
it's the movie business. Like a lot of us we're just sitting inside watching movies and writing our own scripts, and we're not the most sociable people. Like, what does like networking mean to you, or how do you feel? Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think of for people who are like not there yet
networking to me is very scary.
Mhm.
I'm very antisocial, and I will say that to people, and they'll be like, "No, you're not." But at the end of the day, I feel very antisocial.
Mhm.
I struggle with talking to people, and I struggle with saying things if I don't have anything to say.
Mhm.
So when I mean networking, I mean, I guess connecting. At the end
Mhm.
of the day, it's all about connecting with your fellow artists, your fellow employees, maybe your friends as well, because you're working 12-hour days, and if you are not an additional and you're working like on a show consistently for like let's say like maybe a few weeks, those people you often get close to. If you're like hauling a boat out of a out of a lake, which I've had to do, you often like get to chat with people, and that's what I mean. At the end of the day, it's about chatting with people. If you're having
Yeah.
a lunch with your fellow PAs or your fellow artists or a producer or a director,
Yeah.
that is your time to make connections with people. At the end of the day, if you're nice to people, people will remember that. Or if
Yeah.
you're helpful to people, people will truly remember that. They
Yeah.
will. It matters about what impact you leave after you've left the job. If you just went there, you did your job, and you left, I don't know. It depends on if you did that, you might have left the impact. You might have been known as this guy that's there to get the job done, and people might be like, "Oh, I really like that. I really like that mentality, and I really want that to continue on to my next project."
Yeah.
Or you might be really helpful to your fellow PAs. You might really connect over lunch, or you might really connect on your drive back or your departure or your arrival. And that might be your ticket. Someone might remember you years on and be like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that guy. He was great when we picked up C stands from AR rental, for example." And and that might just be it. And that's also the thing. I didn't go to film school, and I think film school is the perfect place to go to if you want that. Especially, you might work on a project in film school with somebody, and then later on they might really remember what you did on that project, and that might come up.
Mhm.
So I think when it comes down to like getting continuous work, it's really about connecting with artists on some level, and leaving some sort of impact so that they remember you later on.
Great. Great. Yeah. So, yeah, cracking jokes or especially like helping out and trying
Yeah.
to make people's lives easier and both with the work and with yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that because there's also that like idea of you're trying too hard and you're maybe
Yeah.
making small talk or something, but doing your
Yeah.
best to kind of just hop on those
Make it natural.
opportunities. Yeah, yeah.
There's also the idea of like I've often been told by like producers or like grips that if you have a positive attitude about things, because for example, as I said, I've had to haul a boat, a fucking a fit sorry, a 50-pound boat out of a lake. I was a tiny like high school student,
Yeah.
not high school student, like I was a tiny like 19-year-old kid, and that sucks. Getting
Yeah.
in that water sucks. Dragging that and then sitting on the edge of it as we're driving on a like a warhog or whatever, sucks. But at the end of the day, that's not something I'm necessarily going to make a big deal about or be negative about, because it's not like someone's like, haha, I should make this PA like fuck up his life or something like that.
Yeah.
It's, hey, this needs to get done. And if I have a positive attitude when I'm doing the job I necessarily don't want to do,
Yeah.
someone might be like, he really knows how to roll with the punches. And
Yeah.
I am not condoning like necessarily rolling with the punches, but having a positive attitude about the things that are not toxic that you are made to do, but still suck.
Yeah. Nice.